Today's episode of Livin podcast is proudly brought to you by the Christmas Heirloom Company.
The Christmas Heirloom Company is the only shop like this that you will find in Australia. And this year, they are located at Westfield West Lakes.
Right up until Christmas Eve, so get in there and get all your Christmas goodies.
Be quick so you don't miss out.
You haven't. It must be your earphones because you sound great in my earphones.
Oh, thank you. How good do I sound in your earphones?
Yeah, really good. Listening to 5AD love song dedications. This one's going out to a little lady in Highbury.
Here we go.
Joy Vince wants you to know he's thinking about you tonight.
Okay, that's creepy in my ears. It's actually
send
creepy.
him to paradise. Here's Coldplay. Okay. That's a fun way to start. We should do a phone-in episode. We get people to actually call in. I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Is that light on or no lights?
What lights?
I'm saying, is there meant to be a light on?
No.
No lights and nobody's home, but we are home.
Well, the lights are definitely off, but someone's in there.
Ooh, we are. Hello. Boo. Welcome to another episode of Livin podcast with me, Nancy.
And me, Vince, and we are back. Hi, how are you today?
Good, thank
Have
you.
you recovered from last week?
Hey.
Something really strange happened to me the other day that I want to talk about. And it's not the first time, but it's a fresh one.
Freshie.
A freshie.
I got a freshie too. I hope it's the same topic. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I was walking out of a venue the other night and somebody said, "Excuse me, did you say your name was Vince Fusco?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "Well, that's so strange. It can't be because I actually went to school with a guy named Vinny Fusco." And I went,
Well, firstly, it can be because it can be two people with the same name.
you would think,
firstly.
well, I know for a fact there are at least 5 of us because we're all named after the same nonno.
Wow, there you go.
Right?
There you go.
And because I've mentioned before, like my family's quite, I would say generationally staggered because my mum is the youngest of 12.
Yes.
You can understand that a lot of
Correct.
my cousins, who are my first cousins, are 50, 60 upwards. in
Oh, I
age,
get that.
Right?
I get that.
So a lot of my cousins that are my age are my cousins' children or my second cousins. Anywho, and a lot of us are named after the same grandfather. So even like at school last week, I had one teacher say, "Vince, I know why your name sounds so familiar."
What do you mean at school last week?
I know that sounds very strange. I was
Explain.
in the school that I'm currently working with,
Yes.
one of my clients, and I was chatting with one of the teachers,
There
and
you
she
go.
said, "Vince, I understand why your name sounds so familiar. I used to teach at another school where I had a boy named Vince Fusco in my class." And I said, "Oh my goodness, what school was that?" And she told me the name of the school, and I said, "That's so funny. He must be a really great guy, and he's my cousin."
There you
And she
go.
said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, his grandfather, who is no longer with us, was my first cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He's named after him. He's named after his nonno,
Wow.
who was the one that I'm named after." So there was actually 4 Vince Fuscos at one time
Wow.
between my nonno,
That's a
my
lot.
cousin, my other cousin Vince, me.
One's
and now
enough.
and now
We got
Vincenzo.
4.
5 actually.
Oh,
5.
gosh.
There was a great photo of the 3 of us at Vincenzo's first birthday and his communion. And it was me, his nonno, my cousin Vince, and myself. And I love this photo so much. And we called it Vinception because there's 3 of us. Isn't that cool? Anyhow,
I love that.
but this guy that goes to me the other night, "Vince, your name, you can't be you because I went to school with Vinny Fusco." I said, "That's so strange because I'm Vinny Fusco. And I've never heard of another Vinny Fusco."
Right.
Vince, Vincenzo, Vincent, yes. But no one else goes in my family by Vinny but me. So I was like, "That's strange." He goes, No. "Did you go to this school?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "No, well, it can't be you." I said, "But it can't." Well, okay, but hang on. You're telling me the story and you're asking me and I'm giving you the answer. When people mistake your identity, but then you argue with them.
I had this exact thing happened
Really?
when I worked at the Adidas store in the city.
Yeah.
Right? I was working there physically that day. And we had a photo board, like a little photo thingy up.
Employee of the
with
month?
Staff. No, just, staff outings,
Oh, okay,
whatever.
yeah.
Whatever. And there was a customer who looked in the photo board thing and she goes, is that Nancy? And no, sorry, I'm lying. I wasn't working there that day. She was telling another staff member. And she goes, "Yes, that is Nancy. Do you know Nancy?" And she goes, "Yes, she's my auntie."
What?
And she goes, "Nancy works here." she's just not here today. No, it can't be because Nancy does the LeCornu ads or something. And I was like, she was like, yes, that's Nancy.
These things are not mutually exclusive.
No, that's not Nancy. That's not that. Anyway, she was arguing with her. It wasn't even my niece. It was, to this day, I do not know who it was. But she was arguing that wasn't Nancy. And she's like, it is Nancy.
What the heck?
And she was arguing with that. But I just had one recently. You know how a couple of episodes ago we talked about our big full cups with
Yes.
Sydney trip, Coldplay, blah, 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 blah.
Good times.
OMG, did I have such a laugh. Even now when I think about it, I still giggle. That night I was there with, lots of people in this particular, the dugout, but under where the players went out before the game, of the soccer game we were watching. Anyway, there was a security lady. Have I confused you?
No, but I get it. We were in the dugout. No, everyone gets it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because you're
Caught up?
Just the way you explain that, you're like in the dugout at the stadium, in the dugout before the game, before the soccer game. Yeah, okay. Get to the point.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, shiver. Okay, so yeah, I'm figuring out.
Are you with me? I was just catching everyone up.
She was at the soccer.
I was catching everyone up. Anyway, so there was a lady there, and she had a real presence about her. Okay. She was very tall. She had like the plaited, the dreads, not even the braided hair. Yes, braided hair. And she spotted a friend of mine that I was with.
Yeah.
And there was a crowd of people in this room, and she's just gone, oh my God, mind you, we're in Sydney. So I'm with a friend.
Not even from there.
From Adelaide.
Yeah.
So she's gone up and gone, oh my gosh, it's been so long. It's been so long. And I'm like going, oh wow, they're having a moment. But I'm seeing like this person's face go a bit pink, red, pretty red. And I'm like,
history. There's history here.
So then she's walked away. They've had a little hello. And she's walked away and I'm like, tell me, do you know them? And he's like, no idea. And I'm like, or is it one of those la, 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 I'll block my ears, I don't need to know about your history.
Like, is there history there? Yeah,
and
that's what
he's
I'm asking.
Like, absolutely not. I have no idea who it is. So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, this is going to eat me up until the end of this game.
But she did a beeline for him.
Beeline for him. But wait, so at the end of the game, she's obviously gone a mad rush through the crowd to find him again. And she's like, oh my gosh, quickly, let's have a photo. Let's have a photo. I'm like, wow. I'm dying.
I would volunteer to take it just for fun.
Well, I was shaking with like laughter that someone else took it, but I still managed to video because I'm like, this is hilarious. So they've had this photo again. See you later. It's so good to see you.
No idea.
And I'm like, come on, man. You've got to think. And I said, well, I'm not going to sleep tonight. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
And he's like, how are we going to do it? And I said, I don't know. But I said, right, okay, here we go. I've got it. I said, your phone is dead, which it was.
I'm just going to give you your detective music.
His phone had died.
Right.
Okay, the phone is dead. And I said, right, you need to go. You need to find her. You say, listen here, my phone's dead. So can you just give me your Instagram handle so when you upload it, I can like follow you back and stuff. So he's gone up and like had a listen and she's showed him his Instagram handle. Mind you, by now I'm pressed against the wall in a corner because I'm dying.
You hate these situations. You're not good in them.
I suggested it, but then I couldn't watch it. I'm like, I can't. I was
stitch up.
Dying. Right? So he's gone up and he's like, right. He comes back and goes, perfect, I've got it. So he's like, and he's spelling out the name and I'm punching it into the phone. And she's come up and like to see it. And I said, does this ring a bell? And he's like, no idea. Zero.
But hang on, did she add him? Did he add her?
Well, I can't remember because I said, this is going to happen. She's going to ask for yours. So I can't remember what ended up happening. I've got to actually ask him because I can't remember whether he said he ignored the question or whether he said it quickly and bye and out the door he went.
But I was just going to say, I don't want you to say who it is, but the handle that they have, is it their name?
Yes.
In the case of like, so if she goes to add him, she's going to be like, oh, this is not who I thought it was.
When I came out, I said, did you tell him did you tell her, yours? And he goes, oh, I don't know. I can't remember if he said he didn't either avoided the question or quickly said it as he was going, bye, really good to see you, and out.
Just make a run for it.
Hilarious.
I love her.
Because I think when she goes to punch it in, she's going to go, OMG, that wasn't the person I thought all this time. And then at the same game, this was, what a funny night we had. There was another guy that went up and said hello to him and said, bravo, he must look like someone. I think you know who I'm talking about. So does he look like someone? Or
like I know, I do know who you're talking about. And I'm just trying to think
but
who he might look
bravo,
like.
how are you? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who are you?
But some people are just very familiar. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get that a lot. You get that a lot, where it's like you've just got that face. And often when people say to me, like even last night, I was walking out of an event and someone was locking eyes with me. And you know when you feel, we've talked about that feeling of being watched. And so I looked up and I caught the eyes and I held it. So I was trying to decode, like, what are they looking at?
Yeah.
Do they think I'm someone else?
Yeah.
Do they know? I don't know. And I never assume that anybody knows me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It happens a lot with, like, obviously with social media.
Yes.
Is that when people just be like, oh, I know you from there. So this person's locking eyes and they go, hello. And I said, hello. And they said, you might not remember me, but I certainly remember you. To which I went, oh, I'm so sorry. That's a bad start. And they said, no, it's all great. It's from about 10 years ago, more. She said, oh, I'm such and such. And straight away I went, oh, yes, we did this performance together. And she said, no, that was my sister. And I was like, oh, my goodness, of course. Yes, your sister and I performed in a show for a while together. You were in Melbourne. Are you still performing right around? We sort of like just unlocked all of the history and had a good catch up. But for a second, it was like, oh, my gosh. And Joya will tell you, I think she has, but like in those moments, I have what I call like a Rolodex in my head of almost like mugshots. Mugshots and names. And I will do that. It's a bit like Guess Who, where I'll be talking with someone and I'll be like, no, not that one. No, don't know that. Oh, where do I know them from? Yesterday, I had a business meeting with someone and I said to her, your name seems so familiar, but I can't place, now that we've met, the very first time, I actually can't place you, but I'm sure we've somewhere. And she said, I feel the same way. Do you know such and such? Which is such a reach.
Yeah.
Someone I've not seen in 20 years.
Yeah.
And is very much a satellite friend. And I was like, yes. She goes, it must be that. I said, there must be. That's the only thing. Anyway, 2 hours later, she sends me an email. Is this why? And evidently we both presented on a communications workshop panel about 4 years ago.
There you go.
Didn't even, but just her name and that was it. But it's that case of like mistaken identity, and it happens with like weddings where people will come up and say like, Vince, how are you? And often, I'm pretty good with names, you know that.
Yeah.
But there are times where I'm like, and I have to find it. And I said to someone last week, I was like, how's your wife? Is your wife here tonight? And he goes, yeah, she's in the wedding. And I went, oh my gosh, of course. I've just spoken to her and I didn't even click that, of course.
Yeah.
It's you two.
Well, you know me and names.
Awful.
Although from way back, I tend to remember things from 30 years ago more than I do last week. It's weird.
But that's just short term, long term.
But I don't know where I was going. See, I already forgot what I was talking about. No. I've got the photographic memory that I could say to Huge, who's that bloke crossing the road? And he's like, oh, I don't know. He's no better than me with names. And I'm like, no, remember that time we were in Queensland and we bumped into them in the elevator on level 6 and we were crossing. And I'll give you every single detail.
Of that conversation.
I just can't remember the name.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. But yeah, that happens like, wow.
Have you ever been not mistaken completely, but like lookalike?
Yes.
Are you a doppelganger?
Apparently, I wish I was. I don't see it.
Who?
I don't see it. Haven't spoken to her about on this before. Sex in the City, Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I was getting it a lot when Sex in the City was on.
I can see it.
I didn't at all until one day I just quietly, there was a competition happening. May have spoken about it before in the podcast.
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all.
Okay, so when it was on, the series was on, Sex and the City, Shields Jewelers was holding a competition.
Okay, here we go.
In Rundle Mall. And the ad came up in between the episode and it said, are you a lookalike of any of the characters from Sex and the City? Send in your photo and we're going to do the finalists and you could win.
Tell me that you've got this photo.
I sent in a photo of me and didn't tell anyone because I was like, I couldn't see it, but I was getting it so much that I thought, I'm just going to find out for myself.
See if this is real.
So I sent the photo. So anyway, a few weeks later, they said, and the finalists are, my photo comes up on the screen. My phone went ballistic. And there I was as the Kirsten the Charlotte.
Davis. That's her name, Kirsten Davis?
Yes, the lookalike. And I went into Rundle Mall. James Brayshaw was hosting it.
Take that back, hey?
Yeah, and the mall was packed, absolutely packed.
How cool.
And I walked away as the Kirsten.
What'd you win?
Lookalike. I won a $2,000 pair of earrings from Shields Jewelers.
Unsponsored, but this is fantastic.
Yes, I did.
I love that.
I did. And I was actually in the lift with what was his Ben Simon, the Shields man.
Simon.
Yeah, I was in the lift with him afterwards going to the car park.
My very first musical experience, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yes.
He played Potiphar.
Wow.
Albert Ben Simon. We had him and we had Peter Gers.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
What is her name? Severchus. Do you remember designer Helen Severchus?
Oh my God, yes.
Helen. We had Helen as Mrs. Potiphar. Albert Ben Simon was Potiphar. Peter Gers.
There you
also,
go.
That was like the celebrity
wow
part of the cast.
But I've always said this, I hate when people come up and say, where do I know you from? But give you nothing else.
So I always respond with Banker say Crime Stoppers.
Yes, I know, and I've done that too, but I'm like, you need to give me some information.
About you.
Basically, they just want my name, my address, my heritage, I'm like, do you want my fingerprint?
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like when they go, where do I know you from? I'm like, I'm not sure. Maybe
Could
just
be
around.
anywhere. Could be anywhere.
Maybe just around. But yeah,
I don't know.
mistaken idea. But that night in Sydney was
Charlotte. That's a funny
quite
story, especially if you're a
hilarious.
friend to go along. I've done that where you just go along with it and you can have the full
Yeah.
conversation like you're best friends and then
Yeah.
they walk away and I'm like, I have no idea who that was.
yeah.
I can't help you.
I'm like, I wish I had Charlotte's bank account, or if there's if you need a stunt double.
Nah, your face
Charlotte.
looks much better than hers.
I beg your pardon. No.
Hey, excuse me, hang on. Let's just talk about this. She's a wonderful, beautiful woman. But and I think she's openly now spoken about letting her feelers dissolve and stuff. But there was a period there a couple of years ago where she looked not right, but she just had too much stuff happening.
Too much, yeah.
And now, let it dissolve. And that's what I mean. I said that truthfully. You look much better than she does.
Thanks, love. I wish I had her nose, her original nose. Put it that way. I don't know if she's got a new
What's
one,
wrong
just
with
in
your
case.
nose?
Hello.
Oh, come off it.
Anyway.
Come off it. Well, I'll tell you what. I've been, I get a lot of Shia LeBouf.
Okay.
Bit of Shia LeBouf.
I don't. From what? Sorry.
Transformers.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
young Shia LeBouf, not now because
Okay.
he looks a little bit different, but now. But Shia LeBouf, I used to get Rove a lot in high school, but I feel like that's because Rove was so prominent at the time, and I used to MC.
Yes.
In high school, I used to MC all of our school assemblies.
Yep.
And it was a chat show.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
teachers
yeah.
always used to say, "Oh, he's our next Rove."
Oh, there you go. What's the one from Glee? Leah
Michelle.
Michelle. I got that, especially when I had my full fringe.
You had bangs.
Yeah, I had bangs.
Oh yeah, I can see it a little
and
bit.
so I got a bit of that.
She also has the schnoz because she's got
Yes.
a beautiful
Oh,
schnoz.
so also, see, first you're
Oh,
saying
here
I
we
don't
go.
have
Here
a
we go.
schnoz.
No, go on.
You don't have a schnoz. Oh, she also has a schnoz.
I said, "What's wrong with
And
your
I
schnoz?"
think
I did not say you do not have one.
That's why we look similar. Look at you. Dig, dig, dig. Let's go get a shovel and maybe get you out of here.
Look at the sunlight
I
up there.
think we should
Let's
get
go
a
to
shovel.
a break. Let's go to a quick break. Let's do that. I'm going to reset. We'll go to a break. We'll be
Okay.
back after this message.
Okay.
Guys, the Christmas Heirloom Company is back. They've popped up for another year. They're at Westfield West Lakes this year, Nance. You can get everything there. You don't even just have to go in and buy stuff. You can rent and decorate for your
Hire.
business.
They have a
You can
hire
hire
business.
stuff. So they will come and set up and make your office look unbelievable, like better than the Magic Cave.
Now, although their retail store pops up for about 3 months of the year, somewhere
Yeah.
different every year, so make sure you're following their socials to find out where they're going to pop up. Many businesses do Christmas in July.
Yes.
So you could still, outside of their retail hours, you could reach out and you could hire everything you possibly need for perhaps even Christmas in July.
I love that so much. They're just so amazing. They are the only store of their kind in Australia.
Correct.
They've also won Franchise of the Year 4 years in a row. They do such a magnificent job, and we're
Yep.
so thrilled to have the Christmas Heirloom Company as our major sponsor for this month. So guys, get down there to Westfield West Lakes, Don't miss out. They're open right up until Christmas Eve.
Right up until Christmas Eve. So make sure you make a time to get down there and soak it all up. And we always say we want these different things in Adelaide, special things. They've done it, so support them.
That's right. Get onto Instagram to find out all the details at Christmas Heirloom AU. All right, we're back. We're back from that little reset. Nance, I'm just thinking, who would you like to be mistaken for? Like you've mentioned like Sex and the City, Leah Michelle, but is there anyone that you go, I would love to be mistaken for them? I've got one that I think I know you would love to be mistaken for.
Tina Arena.
Yes.
Really?
Tina Arena,
Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
And she's in Adelaide in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I know.
So-
I'm still thinking, but logistically.
You know what you got to do? Put on like a fluffy black jacket like she would wear. Put on some big sunglasses. Maybe, you know how there's a
I'm in chain. Oh, no, is that what you meant?
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, and it's funny because now you're going to turn this into something else.
I want you to burn.
No, you're now going to hate this even more. You're going to twist it around my words. But I was going to say you could be like, you know how those people dress up as like the fake Taylor Swift and just like be a distraction. You could do that. You don't have to sing because that would be a giveaway.
Yeah.
But at least if you were just walking around, they'd be like, I spotted Tina Arena today.
Ouch. Yeah.
But if you did, people were like, Tina, would you sing? You could be like, I'm resting my voice. Because you know that even her
By
talking
the sweet
voice.
Sorrento
Oh, Jesus. I love it. We've
moon,
started something, guys.
I remember.
Oh, it's a fucking good album, though. Don't ask.
Don't ask. You know?
I can't wait. I'm actually going along to that concert.
I
and it's
know, I'm
iconic.
jealous.
I'm having a big end of the year of music. All my favourites, Coldplay, Tina Arena, Richard Marx.
I really
I'm then
need
going
to
to see the
get there.
Killers. I've got the Killers in Melbourne in December.
I just need to.
Well, let's think about it. We'll workshop it.
I know.
Get on the bus. Join the cool kids.
Tina, can I bring my little boy? I know it is kid friendly.
I'm sure it would be.
It's just going to be a long day
Actually,
for
I don't
him.
think it is. I think it's actually 18 over. I
Really?
think I'm going to double check my ticket, but I'm pretty sure I read that it's actually 18 over.
But if I said I was Tina, they'd let me in.
Of course they would. They're not going to ask you to sing at the gate. Who have you been mistaken for? Have you been in that situation where someone's come up to you so confidently and mistaken you for somebody else? Have you seen it happen?
I'm trying to think who I know, like, is a dead set spitting image of someone.
Oh, God. I could open up a whole conversation. But human templates.
Oh.
Okay. You know when you've seen someone and you go, God, they look just like this person.
Oh, yes.
And there's a theory around human templates in that being that DNA structures can only have so many combinations.
Right.
So that's why you do have a doppelganger.
And some people say that, yeah, you've got a twin.
Or it's a glitch in the matrix.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're going down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
We are going to leave it there for today, guys. So much to think about.
So much.
You know what you should do, though? You should go onto Instagram.
Yep.
At Livin_podcast. You should follow us if you're not already. You should comment. You should like. You should download. Do all those things. Or go on Spotify.
And if you love us, reach out because next year we could come to your business.
Hey, holy dolly. If you've got a marketing
On-site.
budget for next year, yeah.
See us in the flesh and tell us who we really look like. Do we look like Nancy and Vince?
Or do we look like Shia LeBouf and Leah Michelle? I don't know. But hey, we'll be there. Get in touch with us. hello@livinpodcast.com.
See you next week.
Let's bring this one up. Oh, all right. Well, look, you've made me giggle a lot. You've really caught me off guard a lot today. And I feel like I've really offended you all in the same episode.
I'm okay.
You all right?
I'm fine. Look, just brushed it off.
I love it. Such a Charlotte thing to do.
Yeah.